started off on Monday, where we all thought that Oblivion Remastered was going to be announced, and then they finally came out around, I think it was around noon. They're like, all right, we can't keep this secret anymore. It's been out. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Be there around noon on Tuesday, noon Eastern, and we'll finally talk to you guys about this. And then everyone else was like, and play it? Question mark. And everyone, yeah, and everyone else was like, yeah, we'll probably play it. That came out. The Oblivion Remastered. One of the reasons why I wanted Kraken on the show is I don't want to. It's one of your favorite games, if not your favorite game of all time. I've watched you play a lot of remastered of your own means with mods and whatnot. So I wanted to talk to you about the remaster specifically.
Yeah, the timing was kind of crazy because I play Oblivion like at least 2 to 3 times a year. I feel like I'll end up returning to it. It's like my comfy, like, space. And every time I mod it with like a different experience, I put together like a little mod pack that has a different kind of vibe for it. And I try a different playthrough or a different style, and it's just so fun for me. And so this time I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make the definitive mod pack. I'm gonna build it in a way that it will be shareable and that other people can download it, and it's gonna be stable, which is like a crazy thing to claim for any Oblivion mod pack. And I was like, I spent like a month and a half curating this mod pack, testing it over multiple streams, and I'm like, all right, it's finally done. And then within like a week, we have confirmation that the Oblivion Remaster is coming out, and I'm like, oh my god! And so I had already been like streaming Oblivion a ton leading up to the remaster. I didn't believe the remaster for a long time because I mean, why would they remaster this game? I just, it out of the blue, it seemed so too good to be true.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did, and I was like, well, I'm gonna shelf the mod pack for a while because I don't think we're gonna be playing that. And I've been playing the remaster every day since it came out, and it has been just such a pleasure. I said on the first day, I've said every day since, like, this is the new gold standard for a remaster in any game, and I'm so just touched that there were so many people in the project that clearly had so much respect for the source material that they really just did such an awesome job. And yeah, no, I've been loving that. It's been such a great week for games. And then before that, I was playing the Blue Prince, which is a whole other thing.
Yep.
And I hope we can talk about that because
we'll
talk about you guys have played that too.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Oblivion Remaster is one of those. It just, I think we all played this game when it came out, and it was Koyu. I actually saw your TikTok talking about like Oblivion and the importance of it, and what it did for games and what it did for Bethesda, and I think everything you said there needs to be echoed. This remaster, I kind of feel like it's doing that again for a whole new generation in a lot of ways. Because there's so many people that are playing Oblivion for the first time, and they're getting to experience the same thing we did with much better graphics, much better graphics.
And but some seriously nice extra QOL.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just a remarkable, like, it's just so fun to get in there, and you really, I think, can't say it enough, Kraken, where like they had such a respect for the source material that the same bullshit that happened that you loved back in the day, where 4 characters, NPCs will just appear in a city street, start saying random nonsense, and then they'll all just nod and walk away. And you're like,
yeah,
this is awesome. Like, that's Oblivion. It's so good. It's the best part of the game, is just the complete absurdity of it all. That I've just been having an absolute blast with. And not only playing it, but also watching it. Because everyone's got a different experience, because everything kind of happens differently for everyone. The NPC AI is so bonkers. Not like that it's crazy detailed or crazy in what it's doing, but it's that it's literally insane. Like, you never know what something or someone is going to do when you happen upon them for the first time. And I
Yeah.
love that. It's so funny. And the character models look absolutely stupid in the best ways possible.
Yes.
That every time you zoom in on someone and they have a conversation, they put like this spotlight.
The key light. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
Oh,
key light now that drops down on the person's face, so it highlights their features, and you're just like, look at that fucking dumbass talking to me.
Yeah.
Like, he looks so stupid. It's great. Character creation is also fantastic. You're getting to see some absolute monstrosities out there. I don't think I've seen a good-looking character, and I mean that upsettingly, or sorry, not upsettingly, because everyone's characters just looks absolutely hideous, and the fact that they kept that it's great. It's fantastic, and it seems to be doing well for them. I think I saw they announced like 4 million copies or something were sold already.
wow. That's awesome.
That means we'll almost assuredly see a Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah. Well,
God,
I
I
think
hope.
that's all but confirmed, right? Like there's been some leaks around that.
They've confirmed Fallout 3. Fallout 3 has been
Okay.
leaked as
Okay.
coming, so we can, especially assuming now they're all under the same umbrella.
Yeah.
There's no reason to think that we're not going to see New Vegas eventually.
Yeah.
At this point, it's just like, how hard are they going to work Virtuous? Because those guys are basically a money printing machine right now. Like if they could do exactly what they did to Oblivion to like 6 or 7 other Bethesda games, that'd be great.
Are they? I mean, I guess we have no way of knowing if they're working with other studios, but I feel like at this point they're just going to get acquired by Bethesda and be like, "All right, this is your new
or
thing."
Microsoft. Yeah.
They're
absolutely.
Microsoft. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who they're owned by right now. Actually, that's a really good question.
Who
They've got
Bethesda's owned by?
No, Virtuous.
Oh,
Are they,
Virtuous.
Are they
I
a
was like,
Bethesda created company? Like, what's their history?
let me Google it. I also want to note that it's 4 million players, not sales. Quite different because they factor in
very
Game
different.
Pass and all that
Yes,
stuff.
very
But
different.
still, 4 million
okay,
is that's crazy.
No, New Vegas was not entirely Bethesda. New Vegas was actually contracted by Obsidian from Bethesda.
Obsidian,
But now Obsidian and Bethesda are both owned by Microsoft, so we don't have to worry about that stuff.
Yeah. So let's see. I think, is this the right Virtuous? Yeah. Wow. Okay. So Virtuous has been a company since 2006.
Damn.
They have done a bunch of different things. Are they like a support studio or is it? It's getting
Virtuous is a
studios
work
that
for
work on,
hire
like-
company, and they're also working on Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Yeah. Yeah. They are an
awesome.
external developer for other companies. Yeah. So they've worked on, like you just said, Snake Eater Delta, South Park Snow Days, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, Outcast: A New Beginning, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Horizon Forbidden West, Complete Edition.
wow.
That was the PC version.
over the
Hogwarts
place.
Legacy, Disney Speedstorm, Mortal Kombat 1, Outer Worlds, Spacer's Choice Edition, Horizon VR, Call of the Mountains. Yeah, so they're
all over the place.
They helped on Cyberpunk,
Jeez, man.
PUBG Battlegrounds.
I'm surprised this
worked
is the
on
first time we've really heard of them.
Yeah, they worked on the Stadia port of PUBG Battlegrounds.
I think because a lot
Stadia.
of
Like the Fixers.
the Stadia port. Oh my god. Yeah, the Fixers. Yeah, I think there's a lot of studios like that out there, right? That are contracted to either work on, DLC or ports most often. I think ports are huge for like studios that just need to keep, working on stuff, and so they contract out for stuff like this. I think what's so awesome about Oblivion Remastered is it's so clearly a like from the ground up clear vision, and they as the studio were like able to like have so much more control over it that it is all their skills really can shine from it, as opposed to when they're working on like a DLC or a port, and it's a lot of technical stuff and you can't really separate the work of a studio that's contracted versus the ones that originally made it, right? So
Yep.
this is a dream come true.
Agree. It's fantastic. It's just a lot of fun to get in there and like play in that world all over again. It's also, at least for me, Kraken, you play it pretty frequently, so you probably already know where everything is all the time. But like getting back into the world for the first time, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that thing, that item I need to go grab early because it'll let me do X, Y, or Z. Or like, oh, once I hit level 10, I'll go and grab the skeleton key because that thing's super like just small shit like that got locked away in my stupid brain for 20 years or however long it's been, it gets unlocked again just by entering into this world is cool. It's really fun. So
yeah.
By the way, are you playing as the Pink Panther?
Kinda. Yeah, I didn't actually intend to make it the Pink Panther when I first made it. I named him Will Ferrell, Feral.
Oh yeah, because he's feral. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's my unarmed Khajiit. So Khajiits have a bonus to hand-to-hand combat, and so I was like, let's just full commit to that. And at this point, he runs like at the speed of sound. He can jump across lakes, and fights everyone with his fists. And it's been a lot of fun. It's very goofy.
Yeah, that's also been another weird thing. Is I was watching streamers and they were like, I don't want to play this game just constantly jumping around. Like I'd rather be more immersed. And I'm like, how do you not just constantly jump? Like it's so beneficial in every way, shape imaginable in Oblivion to just jump. You just jump.
I have a lot of thoughts on that topic in particular. And that's that I think since Oblivion, there have been so many RPGs that take their world and their story so seriously that they are afraid to have these kind of goofy, arcadey, like silly elements in because they fear it will cheapen the experience or the characters or any of that stuff. But I think Oblivion was like this perfect slice of life where it has like a compelling world and characters that are made more enriched by like the ridiculousness and the uncanny valley situations you find yourself in. And so being able to jump and like fly is so much more like you want to spend more time in that world because you can do these ridiculous things and be met with like a character that will, tell you to your face they never want to talk to you again, and you're like, oh my god, what did I do to you? Yeah, it's I don't know. I think I lost the plot there a little bit when I was talking, but there's whimsy in this world, right? That I feel like is missing from so many other RPGs.
Did you play Morrowind before you played Oblivion?
No, so Oblivion was my first Elder Scrolls. I also believe that whatever the first Elder Scrolls someone plays defines their understanding of like what RPGs should be, right? And I have friends that love Morrowind and consider it their favorite. I've played a little bit of Morrowind. There's like a really cool multiplayer modded. Basically, there's a project that ported all of Morrowind as an open source code base, right? And the people then modded it to have multiplayer, so you can actually play Morrowind in multiplayer, and it works surprisingly well. So I've done some of that. It was really cool. But I think there's these like creature comforts you learn in whatever Elder Scrolls game you first play that you come to expect from the future ones, and every time it's different. Like, unfortunately, I think Skyrim is like so kind of casual compared to Oblivion, compared to Morrowind, that
I would agree.
It's hard for people to go back once they've been introduced to it with certain expectations.
No, it's definitely like starting with Morrowind, and then I played all the way through, like in order. I played Morrowind. Morrowind might be the game that I have the most hours in, of any game ever, because it came at a time where I was working at a motel. I'll just say I was working at the front desk of a motel night shift, and I could play games while I was just sitting there in the lobby. So I had Morrowind, and I played that for 1,000 hours or whatever. And but like going from Morrowind to Oblivion to Skyrim, it was like realism and like quality of life, and then weird shit you could do. Like, could you dream it? You can do it. Morrowind, and it just went like Oblivion kind of leveled them, and then Skyrim kind of, and don't get me wrong. I know you can still do weird shit in Skyrim and stuff like that, but
nothing like it. Morrowind.
Built
you can make
into
spells
the
in
game.
Morrowind.
Yeah.
You can make your own spells and destroy like an entire room of people immediately when you get the ability to make a spell. If you have the right materials, you can just fireball a group of like the highest level wizards and kill them all in one like boom.
Yep.
And they allowed you to do that,
Loved it.
And also you can levitate. and you could just levitate anywhere you wanted to and shit like that. Or you could get those was it a jump? God, the jump potion or jump whatever.
Yeah,
that the guy falls from the sky.
Right.
Yeah.
That shit. The first time you try that, you're like, oh fuck, you know, goofy shit, and they just like steadily made it less as they went along.
Yeah, it's really sad. And the fact, like you said, like the jump guy is literally one of the first NPCs you interact with or even see die, I think, in that entire game, right? And right away sets the tone that like this world does not play by the rules. Like we got jump potions that will kill you. Like it's, you know, immediately sets the tone.
The super unfortunate thing is this, and we've talked about this extensively on my channel over the years. It's Bethesda has this really unfortunate issue with generalization, where as they come out with further and further products, their products get simpler and more arcadey. And what they're doing is they're making the product more palpable for a wider audience. They're making them simpler. They're making them more easy to understand. So you look at Fallout 2, where it's like every skill had up to 100, you know, skill systems, or all these other systems that were all playing mechanically. You get the latest Fallout, it's literally just cards. You know, you start with Morrowind, you had sound damage, making spells and everything, you know, all this depth. Then Obsidian, and it's like, oh, we can't make, or Oblivion, we can't make spells anymore, and there's no more sound damage. Okay. And then Skyrim comes out, and it's like, fire, ice, lightning. Oh, okay. And then it's gonna be ES6, and they're gonna be like, I throw fireballs, I'm a mage, and that's it. That's all you do. Just throw fireballs. Yeah. That's the magic. That's all you do in that. So it's, you know, and it's just, and we see that in like all their projects. So it's a very unfortunate part. We don't see it in every company, but has definitely been a trait of Bethesda.
I think, I mean, Starfield is, I think, the perfect example, right, of this like homogenization of their games, where like you can look at any, like, I don't know, 5-minute gameplay from that, and I couldn't even tell you what game it was. Like, there's no, it's lost whatever unique kind of sauce made it
kind of soul.
Yeah, the soul. Yeah, it does feel like like a corporate like compromise at each step of the design process, and it's really a shame, because I love I don't want to be pessimistic, as I try to be optimistic about, you know, games in the future of them. I think this Oblivion remaster, and the fact that it's doing so well and people are celebrating the quirkiness and the weirdness of it, I pray that is going to resonate with people there, and they're going to be like, okay, maybe we overstepped in the last few years. Maybe there's actually still an audience for the weird stuff, and like for this this kind of uncanny experience that was not necessarily stable all the time, but it doesn't have to be because it was fun. I hope that will change some minds of the people making decisions. Yeah, because I would kill for the next Elder Scrolls to be like Oblivion more and less like I don't know, Starfield.
Yep. No, I agree. And Zeke, that's what I was talking about, by the way, when he just looked at that motherfucker and they just looked absolutely stir crazy. Man, that's the tip of the iceberg, Zeke. It is absolutely the jump scares that happen now in Oblivion. And I don't know if maybe this was in the original, and maybe I'm just a fucking pussy, but walking around in the towns that have bells in them is
they're so much louder.
A nightmare, because at any given time the bell will just fucking start ringing, and it's like 30 times louder than anything else in the world. And I've done this multiple times. I've had to take my headphones off. Damn, or I've just been like, oh God, just completely scared because of how loud those bells are. But I don't want to turn them down. I love it for that. I just love the absurdity that can happen. I don't think we'll ever see that. I hope you're right in the fact that they'll notice the things that are resonating right now, but like, there's no way they would put that in a modern day game because it would just get crucified. Things like that. But it's acceptable for a remaster, I guess. Which is it's a very like game only problem, right? Like and I can't think of another parallel to media where something like this exists. And it's very strange. I think we could even carry that conversation to the idea of the difficulty within the base game.
Yeah.
Where people were like, "Oh yeah, I've played the Elden Ring, I've done all the Souls games." Nice. Sorry, I'm laughing at the video podcast.
I try to, when I play the game, I try to jump so that when you talk to them, you have like
it's always a weird view.
Down. Yeah, it's so great.
Yeah, it's also fun talking to people while you're on a horse because it just zooms in on the back of your horse's head, which is also funny. But yeah, you get all these modern day gamers that have played the Souls games, and so they bump it up to master difficulty, and then they walk outside of the tutorial. Some even
get murdered in 36 seconds.
Yeah, some even before walking outside of the tutorial or zoning outside of the tutorial cave, and a fucking mud crab walks over like a Giga Chad and goes snip, and your character flies off 1,000 feet because you die.
That's awesome.
So it was that was a lot of fun for people that have never played this to react to the difficulty for the first time because the game is crazy difficult on master.
Yeah, I think. Well, I do think the difficulty scaling is a bit crazy. But,
it's atrocious. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's also, I mean, I think going back to mentioning Kenshi before, there was kind of a design ethos of these games. I think Kingdom Come Deliverance is also another great example where your character isn't like the guy. Like you're, at least when you start out, like you are just an average Joe. You can get killed by a mud crab. You can get like, the hungry bandits roaming the wastes of Kenshi will knock you unconscious and take all your things. Like this is just par for the course. And then from this perseverance and like these constant failures, you slowly get to the place of being this like unstoppable, like flying panther that can fly around and knock everyone out in one punch.
Yeah.
And I think that arc is so satisfying, but games are afraid to have that now. Like they're, you start off and you're already the guy, and like they don't want you to have to go through getting killed by a mud crab because they're afraid that's gonna turn people off. But I think that is like such a unique experience that only games can provide. We don't watch a movie about a guy getting killed by a mud crab because we don't have time for that arc of them coming back to become the mud crab themselves. I don't know why I said that, but
no, I totally get what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to see people almost like grappling with the difficulty in all the ways you just said. Most people, I think, myself included, just put it on Adapt and were like, it's fine. Because as a kid, I put it on Master, and I was the dumbass, stubborn kid. It was like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this game. And I sat there and died 1,000 times to, I don't know, the most mundane wolf that just chases you down because mobs don't de-aggro in this game. Which is another remnant of the past.
That's right.
To watch Burke Black
oh my God,
zone outside and like 30 mobs just come out of nowhere, and they're all like there's a troll and a wolf and 2 goblins and a guard from one of the keeps that are just like chasing him across the world, and he's like, what the fuck? Why are they still following me? And meanwhile, I'm just laughing my ass off because of course they're going to do that. You got to take them out. You can't let them follow you. Yeah. It's good stuff.
One of the things that I love about Oblivion is just the determination of every character. Everyone is so determined. If they decide you're their enemy, they are going to hunt you down until either you or they are lying in a pool of blood. Like there is no alternative for them. I had little Timmy playing with me.
Yeah,
and I make little outfits for him. So for the recent streams, I had him be the Adoring Fan. He thinks he's literally the Adoring Fan. So we're playing the game. I did the arena quest line, and at the end you get this character that follows you around with this crazy ice cream hair. Yeah. And he just is like your fan. He doesn't really help in combat, but he's just always there and is just obsessed with you. And so I wrote in the prompt for Timmy when playing this that he literally is the Adoring Fan. And whenever I mention the Adoring Fan, he's like, that's me. And he's like super excited when he's on screen. And then the Adoring Fan will die. And I'm like, oh no, he's dead. And he's like, oh, am I going to come back? And he's like, he really takes it personally.
Yeah. As he should.
As he should.
Yeah.
So what difficulty are you playing on? Are you playing on the?
I'm playing on Adept. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I think is recommended to pretty
For
much
someone
everyone.
with someone with that many hours in it, you're still like, that master is just too stupid.
I mean,
Master's crazy, dude. Aren't the variables like it's 1.6 times monster damage to you and you deal 0.6 damage to everyone else or something like that?
Yeah, it's like 6 times in both direction punishing. And I think
6 times?
Is it
not
6?
60%?
Is it 6 times? Yeah, I don't.
God.
I forget the chat.
I'd
Chat will
have to
tell
look it
us.
up.
6x. Chat is saying 5x and 0.2x.
Yeah.
Wow.
So in both directions, you deal less, and they deal a hell of a lot more. And I think I'm a big believer in like you should be having fun. I mean, yeah, Coke, clearly you are too. You should be having fun in the games you're playing. And I think doing it for a challenge is one thing, but if you're not having fun doing that challenge, then what's the point?
Yeah, you'll have to really specifically want that challenge. Like you'll like I'll probably play on that difficulty because I think it will be hilarious how much I will die.
Oh yeah.
Right? You know, and that's why I will play it, not not to succeed and do well.
One of the funniest playthroughs I saw was Quinn, who was doing a hardcore playthrough, and he would like leave the tutorial crypt that you start out in, and a fucking crab or something would aggro him, or he'd go fight a random bandit and just die, like just get obliterated right out of the gate. And like if that's what you're looking for, yeah, the game will definitely do that to you. Gassy Mexican was doing the same thing. And it was funny because everyone is like, yeah, Max, turn the difficulty down if you aren't having fun. I, of course, was that jackass like, well, only a pussy would turn the difficulty down.
Complete. I mean, how do you call yourself a gamer after that?
What are you doing, Max? And he's like, JP, I'm an adult, and as an adult, I can decide how I have fun. And if I have fun turning the difficulty down to adept because I don't want to wait, and I'm like, yeah, but you're a pussy adult. He was just getting more and more upset. So we all do a little trolling.
It's like, that's the last time you get an Ethernet cable out the window, sir.
Yeah, then of course I start my game and I'm just like, yeah, of course I'm going to play Adept. I'm not a fucking idiot.
Now, is there like, I mean, it's a Bethesda game at heart, you know, so there's probably like sneaky ways around it. If you're not locked into playing
eventually,
like, melee or something like that, like sneaky bow, like is that not a like
all roads lead to stealth archer? Stealth archer,
yeah.
That's it forces you to that if you play on that difficulty, Zeke.
Yeah,
I think.
there are definitely like these kind of min-maxy, like cheesy elements to the game that if you really
still just
know
jump
the game,
on a rock for a lot of melee, right?
Yeah, you can like cheese it with like humping on rocks. You can for example, alchemy is huge in this game. You can also make your own spells to like, you know, be a self buff for a very specific skill and then only use that skill or do it right before a fight. And then it's like a temporary kind of stolen power that you can only use each time you fight. It's just that can get very repetitive, I think, if you're relying on that for every single fight. So I prefer to play on Adept where I just fly around and feel like, you know,
so feel like the god.
I see a couple people in JP's chat and Co's chat talking about what I always did, like in Morrowind, in Oblivion,
Morrowind Alchemy.
Skyrim. I was a conjurer, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was always a conjurer summoner. That's what my first D&D character, my first long-term Dungeons and Dragon character was a wizard specializing in conjuration. So I was like, oh, I'm playing D&D on a video game. That's what I'm going to do. So it's good to see that I could do that in Oblivion on master difficulty and maybe not have such a bad time.
Yeah. I think the other thing that I immediately did was the second that I saw those two rats in the tomb when he started out, I immediately went and just crouched and started walking on a wall and was like, guys, I'm going to eat my food real quick while I level up sneaking and get some free levels. Like, you know, shit like that. Or go and find a lock and use like open easy lock constantly. So it levels your conjuration or just like, you know, the things that you did and were accepted. Seeing people that are playing this for the first time, not doing that. And then hearing that is how everyone plays is like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, what do you... Like you don't do that in today's games necessarily.
Yeah.
So it's been really fun to see that like kind of come back, as well as at least on TikTok. And I've seen it like IGN posted it, and I think a lot of different publications that use video views as a main way to, you know, drive revenue, content creators as well. It's like, hey, go here and get this special secret item and this, and it's like, dude, this is a 20-year-old game tip. Like, what? How is this new again? What am I watching? Do you want to get the best sword?
It's new to so many people.
Oh, it totally
like,
is. It's just mind-blowing for me.
But it's like, it's crazy to think how many people are playing this before they ever have been exposed to the original.
Totally.
And it's a beautiful thing.
Well, yeah, I love it.
And that's why
I'm just happy more people are talking about it and experiencing it for the first time.
Absolutely, yeah. I saw it might have been Gassy that was saying this, where it's like, you know, for everyone that played Oblivion, it's like returning to their childhood, and that's fantastic, and it's a great remaster. But for me, a whole new Elder Scrolls just came out. Yeah. And I get to play it for the first time. That's awesome. Like, this has to be one of the craziest stealth, even though it was already known about, like stealth drops ever for a whole new Elder Scrolls game to come out for an entirely new generation of gamers.
Yeah.
And I was pretty jealous because, like, yeah, it's a massive game. You can spend countless hours in this. Not even to count like the mods that work in it already or have been ported over to it already. Yeah.
I haven't dabbled yet myself. I mean, I love modding Elder Scrolls games, but I was going to wait till I finished my current playthrough before I got into the modding scene. But apparently they built it very much intentionally to work, you know, with even some of the older mods to already work, and for it to be the same kind of modding system as the old games, so that people can port over a lot of their stuff or build new stuff. And I think the modding scene is going to be so amazing. I mean, I think the systems are just so much more unique and fun than Skyrim's, and Skyrim is like one of the best examples of how modding can, you know, transform a game, right? So
yeah,
I'm so excited to see what people come up with.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Two questions. Are you still in your first playthrough of Morrowind or of Oblivion Remastered?
Yeah, I just hit level 20. I'm doing like the DLC now.
Okay.
And I've just been mostly doing like side quest stuff like I always do. But yeah, I'm still technically on my first one. Yeah.
Okay. Second question is, are you playing it unmodded?
Yeah. Yeah. First one, I'm trying to get as, you know, re-experience it without. I'm mostly curious just to see what the these devs decided to include, decided to change, and so I'm just having a lot of fun finding like the things that I'm like, aha. Like, for example, one of the famous quests in this game, you find a dude has disappeared, and you're like, what happened to him? Well, he's a painter, and if you go into his studio, he's got a painting, and that painting is a living world, a painted world that he has been sucked into, and you have to go in and rescue him. And when you go in and rescue him, you find out that there was a thief that broke into his house and stole his magic brush that lets him paint, you know, these living worlds. And he followed him into this painting, and then the thief started painting really bad trolls, like poorly made trolls, because he was like trying to defend himself. However,
I remember that.
Yeah, I think one of the funniest little like nods we discovered was the trolls you fight in the painted world that are, quote, like badly made, like, you know, bad looking trolls, are the original Oblivion model and design for the trolls.
Oh, that's fucking
that's
cool.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
That's great.
And so they're like nodding at the fact that, like, yeah, you know, we tried, but these are the best trolls we could come up with for like the time. When you go out into the real world, they're all fuzzy and like gorilla-like and really intimidating and unique looking. Yeah. But if you go in the painted world, they're the old Oblivion trolls again. You know, it's great.
That's great. Yeah,
that's really fun.
Yeah, the models in general, like we said, the graphics are good, but it's a really, really pretty looking game. It might have my favorite title screen, like start screen now of any game, because it's just the fiery Oblivion gate with the dude standing in front of it, and like this gorgeously rendered version of that. It's stunning to say the least. But yeah, there's moments where you're walking around in a cave and you see like there's like one of those light shafts coming in that you would always see in the past. You're like, whatever, it's not that impressive. Now when it does it, you get to see like the little fog ripples off of that, and you see the light being manipulated by the fog, and you're like, fuck, man, this is gorgeous. I can't wait to see. I really hope that this is them testing one for remasters to see the way the game is made is it's got their stuff, their engine with Unreal Engine 5 on top of it, with UE5 on top of it. And so I guess the theory is that they could do this to other stuff. We talked about like remasters, but I really want to know like what is Elder Scrolls 6 going to look like? Because should it come with this wrapper? Yeah, like if it looks this good, fucking let's go. Like I'm on board 100%. But if it looks better, like holy shit, no. Hold on. Keep in mind, Elder Scrolls 6 is still, as we know, going to be in Creation Engine. It's going to be a different engine, right? So there's a chance that Elder Scrolls 6 is not going to look as good as the Oblivion remaster.
That would be crazy. I was wondering that too.
100% the world we live in. That's like, as of now, unless they change anything, that's where we're headed. They're not going to be able to import like the UE5 graphic engine into Creation before ES6. One of the craziest things I saw was, and it's not hard to do. Most people, as long as you have Game Pass, you can boot up Starfield, run around in Starfield for like 5 minutes, and then run around in this game for 5 minutes, and you're like, holy shit! Like Starfield looks like ass. Like what the hell were they doing? That game looks terrible, and it runs a lot worse as well. This one it's like gorgeous, and so. I hope that I hope that it's better looking. I hope it's not the type of situation where it gets compared and be like, well, they should have just used UE5.
Well, I mean, maybe they're going to do what they did with Oblivion 2, right? Where they make it in Creation Engine and then they add this wrapper of UE5. Yeah. Because, I mean, it seemed to work pretty well. I was very skeptical. The concept of having two engines running on top of each other.
I'm still wowed by it. Yeah, it's still crazy to me. Yeah, that they do it the way they do it. It's a really, really pretty game. So that's Oblivion Remastered. Check it out if you haven't already. It's on Game Pass. Even with, is it a $60 price without?
It's 50 and then 60 with the premium version. So
okay,
which I think is totally fair. $50 is perfect.
Maybe one of the funniest, and it's got to be intended. Funniest things, the deluxe edition.
I was born.
Shut up, John Picard. Sorry, started talking on my stupid thing. One of the funniest things is the deluxe edition does, of course, come with the horse armor. The original, at least here in the West, microtransaction. So the one that started it all.
The root of all sin.
The root of all sin.
The apple.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. Some of my chat were like, "Oh, it's so dumb. It's so greedy of them." I'm like, guys, no, this is a bit. It's so clearly a bit, and I think more companies should do stuff like that. I don't know. I think
it's a bit, but it's like extra, $1 million bit. Right,
it's a bit that just stings a little. It's like one of those like poignant jokes at a stand-up comic where it's like it was funny, but you're kind of right and it hurts a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. I like that sort of stuff though, so I don't mind it.
Yeah, the stupid part is I bought it. How the fuck do you even get it? Like, where do you even get the horse armor? I don't even know where you get the horse armor in the game.
I haven't found it. They also add quests and like some other armor, so there is more content than just the horse armor.
Well, it has all the DLCs baked into it for the
that's in the base game. That's just exactly.
Yeah, and there's a lot of DLCs for this. Like, the horse armor was them being like,
they'll buy anything.
But what if we just throw some DLC in there and make some other, longer quests and longer areas to go to, all that stuff. Yeah. It's a thing. It's a wild thing that the Oblivion Remastered came out and is as good as it is. Kind of, I would say, set the bar for anything moving forward that comes out with like the tag of remastered next to it.
Absolutely.
Really, really, really well done. So glad to have that out in its current form. And of course, if you've never played Oblivion, the soundtrack, the music, it's one of the best, especially a title track. Yeah.
Yeah.
It still hits all the right notes. It's 10 out of 10.